All right, boys, follow my lead. Remember this? See what we got. I found something in Romans 11 that I've gone back to several times. It's the definition of self-willed. The definition of being self-willed. In the 12 steps, people talk about the self, and that there's a higher self, and then there's the ego self, and sometimes it's kind of hard to determine, what's ego and what's not. And the Bible speaks about pride, and the 12 steps speaks about selfishness, and there are just some universal, I guess, things that all these paths sort of agree to, and that is selfishness and deceit, and being self-willed. So what does being self-willed look like? And I saw this in the book of Romans. I thought this was really, really interesting. It says, self-willed is fault-finding, being contrary or contradicting. Ever since I've seen that, I've noticed that when people are in egoic states, or one of the ways that I identify if somebody's in an egoic state, and we all go through that. We all have an ego. I mean, our egos are really, they come out of childhood to kind of protect us, and then sometimes those protections become walls and entire personalities. So, wait, here I am doing riffing about personality development. So what does self-willed look like? Well, it's when people are critical and fault-finding, contrary and contradicting. You'll see that a lot in the like politics, or just if you can stand it, watch political television where everybody's trying to contradict everybody else, and oh yeah, but this, yeah, but, and listen for the words when people are, yeah, but. That's a contradicting spirit. And fault-finding, notice that criticism is always a part of the ego. And there is critiquing, and then there's criticism. I mean, if you're teaching me how to play golf, and Tiger Woods critiques my swing, I mean, think of this. If Tiger Woods critiques Fibonacci's golf swing, that's not fault finding. That's critiquing, and that's actually a blessing. But then there's fault finding, which is criticism of the person. That's when the discussion goes from let me talk about you as a person, an ad hominem attack. For example, here's kind of a family picture, kind of drinking my coffee. Like, let's say that you don't like my coffee. Let's just use this as an example. I serve you coffee and you're in a fault-finding mode. Well, how would you say it from a self-willed place? Well, you would say something critical towards me as a person. Well, you don't give me a big enough cup, or you don't ask me if it's going to be very victim-y. Whereas you could say, well, you could make a critique of the coffee versus you can make a criticism of the coffee. So there you go, singing my song. We talk about these terms being self-willed, but what does it really mean to live from an egoic place? And believe it or not, the Bible has some answers. It says fault-finding, being contrary, or contradicting. You guys be good. Email me your thoughts, questions, share this content if you like it. Drop me some PayPal. Holla!